One question, during your presentation, you mentioned about fluidic design and the direction it's going, especially where you're getting in nature and art into it. Where do you see an extension of this design in the next 3-5 years as your cars evolve?
I think the fluidic sculpture, when it first came in to the market in 2009, it was what we needed to do, and what we wanted to do was make sure that people recognise that we have a new design language, design philosophy that we wanted to communicate with the market. And I think with the Sonata and the Elantra and a lot of the vehicles, that I think we have done a great job of communicating globally that what fluidic sculpture is and how the design language is going to be. But the second generation, because it was released in 2009, we still have to think about the 1.5 generation and the second generation of fluidic sculpture, which will be coming in maybe from about early as next year in 2 years time. And I think the second generation of fluidic sculpture is going to be more refined and what I would call a little bit toned down. I think the Sonata has a very distinctive design language, which moved away from the general the D segment sedans like the competition like the Camrys and the Accords, and I think that was the factor which was successful, having a breakout, a totally new design language which just stood apart from the competition. But within the fluidic sculpture, when you actually see the second generation of fluidic sculpture vehicle, you'll instantly recognize that this is a fluidic sculpture, this is a design language which Hyundai has developed and designed, but it's going to be more refined. So it's going to have a greater refinement in surfaces, the overall profiles and the stats of the vehicle. So it's like a child being maturing. When a child is born, he's very different, distinctive. He has his own way of his own visual. But when he starts growing up, he's going to grow up as a handsome boy or a very attractive female. But the design is going to be refined in a way that fluidic sculpture is recognizable, absolutely, distinctively recognizable, but in a refined way.
Will we see regionalization of design elements, especially with platforms being developed for different markets?
I think already we are seeing that in the Hyundai Eon, which was released in India just about a couple of months ago. It's a specific vehicle catered for Indian market, and you are going to see vehicles for specific markets in the future.
As you just mentioned, specific markets have different requirements in terms of features and in terms of the way the car evolves. How much do you think it influences the design element, the visual part of where the car comes from?
I think it does. I think there is. I don't know if it's significant in a way that we have to move away from fluidic sculpture totally. Okay. But within the design philosophy of fluidic sculpture, there is going to be slight changes, not alterations, but slight different interpretation of fluidic sculpture for specific market. Taking Hyundai Eon, for example, the interior design is completely different. It has been inspired by a unique Indian religious deity, the religious sculpture. So we have tried to merge, be inspired by the traditional Indian culture, but we have to redefine in a way of fluidic sculpture as well. So it's where traditional Indian culture meets fluidic sculpture, and the interior design of the Eon is a very, very distinctive and a good example of how we mix fluidic sculpture into a very unique regional design that we're going to cater for the future.
Again, you had mentioned during the questions which we asked previously, where your designers are looking outside the box in terms of getting ideas from society or new trends, new fads which are coming on the market. Could you just embellish on that? Could you tell us what's happening within the Hyundai Design Labs for that?
I think as a designers, we're professionals, and we know ultimately the design has to be an automotive design, and there are guidelines to what automotive design is about. Automotive design, the way it's different from product design, is that the forms, the overall surface and the forms actually changes with the way lights are reflected onto their surfaces. That's why we have what we call shoulder lines around the just below the windows. That we have the shoulders, because that shoulder actually reflects the way where the lights actually hit. Designers had to look outside and look broad, from the very luxury to the very low end. We have to be aware of those kind of situations. So what we're trying to do is in our design center is try to break the boundaries of thinking other designs and arts and lifestyles. So our designers are sent to exhibitions, concerts, to get inspirations from other means of art and design. And also some of the designs you actually see around here about My Baby is that we give, every 2 years we give projects to the designers to come up with free ideas, free of restrictions, restrictions that comes with manufacturing, to come up with their ideas of the future, their ideas of the fluid sculpture, their ideas of the greener alternative energy source. So during this project, we don't give feedback as to, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that, we have to change this. We try to let the designers be their own director in that project, to come up with a design which they feel is going to be the direction for the future. And also we bring in many different designers from many different disciplines, such as graphic design, product design, gaming design, fashion design and others, to give speech. We have workshops with them. We actually spend time with those people to see how they come up with their inspirations and ideas to converge and to many design disciplines together, to give the synergy effect for our designers to come up with something which is totally different from what we used to see from conventional automotive design, but also standing within the line of automotive design in a way that we come up with a new idea, a new concept for the future.
Great. And just finally, which has been your most favorite project in the entire?
Well, of course, the Sonata project, because it's the one that signaled the beginning of the floating sculpture, and I have very good memories of it. It was a very tough time. I've done about 3 or 4 projects, but I think Sonata will be one of the main projects that I will cherish for the rest of my life.
Thank you.
Thank you.